I'm Amy. I graduated in 2020 from the Design Academy at the Wellbeing Department, and I am Dutch. I graduated with my project Packing Up PFAS, in which I transformed PFAS polluted clay soil into clean bricks and other ceramic materials. A chemical group called PFAS shut down the Dutch building sector because the chemicals were found all around the country in our soil. They do not degrade naturally, and they build up in the food chain and end up in our bodies, which is very unhealthy. So when I started looking into how we could actually remove these chemicals from the environment, it turned out to be very hard because you can't wash it, you can't sieve it, all you can do is burn it. But what you're left with is burnt soil. So all the living matter is dead and you can't do anything with it anymore. So with this project, I aimed to transform this dead polluted soil into clean and usable building bricks by heating them up to 900 to 1200 degrees. And what we're left with is a construction building brick with which we can build on the soil that was previously polluted. The starting point of the project was that I heard that in the Netherlands all our soil is contaminated with a chemical group called PFAS. These chemicals are toxic and do not degrade naturally, and in 2019 they shut down the building sector. You were no longer allowed to build on polluted soil, which was a problem because in the Netherlands we don't have much space to build on to begin with. So I started my research in academic literature, and I read a lot about ways to destroy these chemicals. And at a certain point I found that when you heat it, they burn, but what you're left with is dead soil, so you can't use it for anything anymore. And that's when I thought, what if we press them into bricks or other ceramic materials? Therefore we remove the PFAS from our environment and we're left with useful building materials. Well, in this project there were quite a lot of challenges because I was calling earth banks. These are banks where polluted soil is brought and stashed. And I asked them for PFAS polluted soil, and they told me no, because you're not allowed to transport it, it's dangerous to work with, and well, what would a designer even do with it to begin with? So I called a lot, and finally I convinced one soil bank to give me some of their polluted soil. From 3 regions of the Netherlands. So on the top you see Schiphol, the PFAS hotspot of the Netherlands. This is Waddinxveen and this is Barendrecht. And these are the soils I worked with. But not only getting the soil was a challenge, also working with it. Because I had to wear masks even when we were used to it due to Corona times. But also gloves up to here. And I had my own ceramic kiln that also gave a fair share of problems because it was an old one. And we were not allowed to work in the school. So in an anti-kraak building, a squatters building in Utrecht, I had a little boardroom where I was working with clay and I was kneading a lot, and my entire family came to the rescue because it was a lot of heavy labor. And together we pressed bricks, we sieved the clay, we did all these molding of the shapes, and after that it was a lot of firing and trying to keep my kiln consistent. So it was rather challenging to do this without a ceramic workshop, but it worked out. COVID offered me the possibility to really be in the project. So every day I would cycle to my little working space where the buckets of clay were waiting, and when I was there I forgot about the entire world. And due to COVID, I had no other obligations. So I saw so many possibilities, but also I kept on wanting to try out more and to experience more, which resulted in these, 120 samples. But also, it showed me that there is so much more possible and to extend the research. So I also made a research book, but for example, also the pictures became part of the project, which I before didn't think would happen. So it gave me more time to reflect and to make it into a whole, into a unity, instead of just one product. Okay, in 5 years is a bit far away, so for the first year I have some plans, because I applied for a patent with this project. So the patent is about transforming PFAS polluted clay soils and slips into ceramic materials. For example, bricks, but it could also be tiles or other things that can be used in construction. So it would be a dream to actually realize it. So find a company to collaborate with, for example, a brick manufacturer, or maybe an investor, or maybe some government funding to make this reality, that we can go to a polluted site, dig up the soil, transform them into bricks, and actually build on that soil which has been cleaned with clean building blocks. So today I went to the Chamber of Commerce and started my little company, and I'm going to try to make it real and to realize it this year.